While implementing any of the ISO standard, documents and records become a central part of creation. That is, when the process is about to be defined, the same is defined and then documented, and after that documentation is done, it is being followed in that same fashion. This is the basic principle of any ISO standard. If you are implementing ISO 9001, which is quality management system, or 14001 environment management system, or 45001, which is health and safety management system, or any kind of ISO standard, the basic is you have to document the procedure or process, and you should have some formats to capture data. In this video, we are going to look at what are the mandatory documents as stated by ISO standard, where we are considering three different standards, that is ISO 9001 quality management system, ISO 14001 environment management system, and ISO 45001 health and safety management system. So let's go into the mind map and first look at what exactly are the mandatory documents, and then of course the list of all the non-mandatory, which is your wish if at all you want to. Otherwise, if you don't want, then it is absolutely okay. So let's go to the mind map and look at the mandatory documents and the non-mandatory documents. In this mind map, we are going to look at the documentation hierarchy. But to define the documentation hierarchy, we need to see first what are the mandatory and non-mandatory documents which are required by any standard. In this mind map, we are going to consider 9001, 14001 and 45001, which is quality management system, environment management system, and health and safety management system. So let's look at the first level, which is either they are mandatory or non-mandatory. The first and foremost thing is you should always complete what are the mandatory documents, and then you should go for a non-mandatory documents. Now again, I need to differentiate that what are the documents and what are records. Documents are something which let the people know how a process needs to be followed, and a record is at each step or at crucial step of each process whatever data you need to capture so that the data can be analyzed. To capture that data, formats are prepared, and when these formats get filled, they are called as records. So today we are talking about documents as well as records. So what are the mandatory documents? Mandatory document is control of documented information, where you need to define how you are preparing the documents, keeping them, and how you are discarding them. So these are the basic three rules of documented information procedure, right? After that, find how we are going to conduct an internal audit. So procedure for internal audit. Then we have to also define how we are going to conduct our management review meeting. MRM stands for management review meeting. Then the fourth mandatory procedure is control of product or process non-conformity. Non-conformity is something which is not as per the procedure. So if it is followed, then it is called as non-conforming process. And when there is a non-conforming process or a product non-conformity is where the product is found but it is not as per the shape, size, weight or whatever dimensions, or even the chemical or physical properties of the product. If it is not as per the defined procedure, then that is called as a non-conforming product. For that, we need to define control of product or process NC. These can be defined separately also, but we may have it as one procedure as well. Then after that, we need to define procedure for corrective action. What action we are going to take on the non-conforming pointers. So that is captured in corrective action. Then of course we need to define procedure for risk assessment and control. So if we of course any company has risk and those risks needs to be controlled. So for that the procedure is risk assessment and control. Then of course there is a manual, but this manual is not a mandatory one. It can go into the non-mandatory thing. I'll tell you why it is non-mandatory later. After that, we need to define a company policy. That policy which covers, if you are talking about only quality management system, then it should cover quality management system process or the requirement. If we are also implementing environment management, then it should also talk about the environmental policy. And if we are also implementing health and safety, then policy regarding health and safety or the points or the requirements of health and safety for defining a policy should also be defined in the company policy. So company policy can also be termed as IMS, Integrated Management Systems Policy, if we are implementing more than one ISO standard. If we are going for environment management system, then the mandatory procedure, apart from all the procedures which are mentioned above, we also need to define aspect and impact identification and control procedure, where we need to write down how we are going to identify any aspect and what is the impact, and then what we are going to do, that is the control of that aspect. Then if we are implementing health and safety management standard, then we have to define HIRA, which is hazard identification and risk assessment. That is, whatever hazards we have, we need to define how we are defining it, that is identification of that, and then how we are going to control it. So that procedures will also be termed as a mandatory procedure. So all these procedures are mandatory procedures if we are considering the three most popular standards, and that one or two mandatory procedures are not captured here, right? After that, let us come to the non-mandatory part, and the list goes on and on. So I have just mentioned few of the non-mandatory procedures. One is manual. Now, in the previous ISO standards, that is the previous version of any ISO standard, there was a requirement for having a manual. But now, instead of manual, there is a requirement of defining a scope documentation. So let's go to the mandatory part and add one more mandatory document, which is scope documentation. This scope documentation will have all the requirements of that standard mentioned and what we are going to take actions for, as well as physically the standard would be applicable to what type of, if it is a factory, then address of the factory, the location of the factory, how many workers are there, how many skilled workers are there, how many rented or workers who come only on daily wage basis. If we have any multi-locational offices, that is office at one place, manufacturing unit at 2-3 different places, then you have to mention everything under the scope documentation. So ideally speaking, this is more or less a manual, but it is also, there are something extra as compared to what a manual used to have in the previous version of the standard. So now the mandatory document is scope documentation, as well as if you want to, you can have a non-mandatory manual also defined, nothing harm in that. Then the non-mandatory procedure is sales and marketing. If you want, you can have that there as well. There could be purchase procedure, there could be design and development procedure, and then the list of procedure. It could be dispatch procedure, stores procedures, HR procedure, training procedure, how a code and conduct of at the organization. So all these things comes under non-mandatory procedure. There is no end to defining any non-mandatory procedure. Whatever comes to your mind which needs to be documented as procedure, but which doesn't fall under mandatory, all such type of things fall under non-mandatory procedure. Now this is about documentation. With the documentation, we also need to define records, that is formats. So I have just stipulated down here the mandatory records which are required to be kept as per the three standards, which is 9001, 14001 and 45001. The first one is risk register format, where all types of risk, which is a process risk or a business risk, everything needs to be defined under risk format, risk register format. Then one more format needs to be there which says about what are the objectives which are defined for the company and the process, and what are the plan of action. As well as we should also have customer satisfaction format, where we can collect customer satisfaction index from each and every customer. Then we should have a non-conforming product and process format, so which is related to the procedure which was mentioned previously. So for the procedure to realize, there has to be one format which is non-conforming product and or process format. Then in the previous slide we talked about corrective action procedure. To help adopt that procedure, we should have a corrective action format in place. Then we also talked about aspect impact procedure. To suffice or document that aspect impact procedure as a document, we need to have aspect impact register. Then of course HIRA register, hazard identification and risk assessment register, and then emergency procedure, because when you are implementing environment management system or health and safety management system, there is some point or something which becomes very emergency at times. Like if there is a fire becomes an emergency. Whatever controls you take, but fire cannot be a planned thing. As well as natural disaster, which is not a planned thing. It has to be documented as an emergency. And of course there are 3-4 risks which also can be termed as can be defined under emergency procedure. And for non-mandatory document records, for non-mandatory records, there is no as such list. N number of records can be defined, N number of formats can be defined under the non-mandatory records, and there is no limit to it. That is the reason nothing is been mentioned under non-mandatory. Okay, so now we have seen how a document requirement is there and how a record requirement is there. Now we will also look at the hierarchy, which is hierarchy of documents. So the first thing is policy. Every person who is working in the organization should know your quality policy, your environment policy, health and safety policy, or if at all you are implementing more than one standard, then integrated management system policy. After that, scope needs to be defined. Then becomes your procedures, or you can say SOPs. Now these procedures are department wise or function wise, right? And below these procedures you can have work instructions, right? Work instructions can be, a small process which is defined step by step, what needs to be done in the first place, then the second place, then the third place, then the fourth place. If you want to define any process in micro detail, then work instruction is what we define. And more than one work instruction will comprise of one procedure. So one procedure may have link to more than one work instruction. And all these procedures are linked to the scope. And then scope ultimately leads to the policy. Because the policy is defined by the management and all these documents needs to be adhered to in toto as per the wish of the management. Now below work instruction, to help suffice or help the work instructions follow, or if somebody needs to see whether the work instructions are followed, formats are defined which becomes records after they get paid. So this is a general hierarchy which is followed in most of the organization. Almost 99% of the organization, this kind of hierarchy is followed. The first is policy, below that comes the scope, then procedures or SOPs, below that work instructions, and below that formats and records. Did you like today's video? If you have liked today's video, then please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, share this video to a number of people whom you know, so that they also get some knowledge about how to implement systems at your place. My name is Saurav and I am a partner in Quattrocento Management Services LLP. Our organization is helping many entrepreneurs and SME to implement their ISO standard, and we handhold them in their quality journey. So please subscribe and share. I have mentioned two links to keep you updated. One is Facebook group and the second one is Telegram group. Telegram group is where you will be able to get intimation about any future video upload to YouTube, and Facebook group is where you can discuss and ask questions and you will get answers. You can also download the mind map in PDF format if you wish to from the link below. I have mentioned the link in the description. So thank you very much for watching this video, and do like, subscribe and share this video. Thank you very much.